I'm Callie.
I'm Lauren.
And this is the Book Commenter Podcast. Welcome back, my friends. We're excited to talk about Project Hail Mary today. This is my first Andy Weir book. I have seen The Martian, the movie, but I haven't read it.
Yeah,
I haven't read his other book, Artemis. And my dad has read all three of them, and he's liked all three.
Oh, cool.
So,
did he have a favorite?
I didn't ask.
Oh, that's okay. But I was curious. That's cool. He's read all three of them.
I'm very excited. And I also saw on Goodreads, we have a couple friends who are also reading Project Hail Mary right now.
Oh, really?
I'll bleep their names, but Dana and Kylie are reading it right now.
Oh, that's awesome. Because
Kylie. Kylie's a friend of the show.
Yeah.
Kylie's reading it.
You guys know Kylie. Wait. Okay, that's
on
cool.
Goodreads,
Are they reading
marked it as reading?
I wonder if they're doing it. I love when people read with us. It's the best.
Before we get into it, because I'm very excited to talk about this. Yes. I love this book.
I did too.
I had a ton of fun.
Me too.
What have you been consuming, Lauren?
This book, that's it. Literally. That is all I have. Okay, I need SOS, help. People that are having a hard time reading right now, but are reading, let me know what you guys are doing, okay? Because I feel like audiobooks is like the only way. I haven't downloaded the Libby app. I've heard good things about that. So I need to take the steps.
Yes.
But I've been having a really hard time pacing the way I want to pace with my reading consumption lately. Yeah, you guys should tell me your hacks. Parents out there, what are your hacks for reading? What do you do? Yeah, I do what I can when I read to my child. So that's been going great.
Yes.
But those are just, kid books. And you kind of tend to read the same books over and over because there's like a repetitive factor to help kids when you're reading. But yeah, I'm struggling. So media consumption of reading, not great. But I have been watching lots of shows.
I love it. What have you been watching?
Have you guys heard of The Pit?
Yes.
Okay. I think we talked about this recently. We've been watching The Pit. Love The Pit. I think it's really great. For context, it is... Okay, I'm not a medical show fan. I always would make fun of them, actually, because I just felt like they were so dramatic and they weren't very accurate.
Grey's Anatomy
kind of stuff.
McDreamy. Oh, did you hear that McSteamy died?
No.
The actor?
Oh!
He died at 53 of, cancer or something.
Oh,
like
no.
That.
Rip.
No, very sad.
Rip. But we really like The Pit. Especially, we just love how they pace the show. Every episode is an hour in the ER, is like the concept of the show. It's very interesting, and it's set in Pittsburgh, and it's very, there's so many accidents, so many emergencies that they're understaffed. So it's showing how insanely busy the ER always is, with people waiting to be taken care of, and it takes them hours to be seen, whereas these doctors and nurses are so have major burnout, but they're still going, trying to help people. And so it's a really good show. So we've been watching The Pit. Loved it. We're on the second season that just came out this year.
Nice.
Oh, we watched A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
The Game of Thrones one?
So good.
Okay.
So good. You would love that show.
Okay. I'm going to go.
It's the relationship between a squire and a knight, and it's so good. I loved it. And I've never seen Game of Thrones, actually, but I really liked that show. So we just finished that, and at some point we're going to have to talk about the fact that me and Callie watched Wuthering Heights.
I know. Okay.
That needs to be an episode in of itself. Okay,
my question is, and you guys can give your input, I almost wonder, so next month we're doing an audience choice. Oh, yeah. And we'll talk about that next episode. But I almost wonder if, next month we'll do audience choice, then should we just do Wuthering Heights? I think we have a plan, but should we change it and just do it?
I don't know.
And then we can, it'll be a little bit later after the hype might have died down a little bit. But we watched the movie, last night. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I loved it. Me too. What does that say about us? I don't know. If you guys are reading everything that people have said, just watch it and then you can judge us.
Yeah. I don't know. So I almost wonder if we should save our thoughts.
Yeah. We're going to save our thoughts.
Should we just do it?
But I loved it. And, I have some very controversial thoughts with how I think the Brontes would have responded to this.
Yes.
But we really liked it. People just need to calm down. So maybe it's a good thing we wait for the heat of the debate to kind of simmer.
Yeah.
And then we can jump in.
I feel like that's what naturally happens. If you've noticed, like something will come out and they'll hating it is always first. You hear about the hate all the time.
Yeah.
And then you give it a minute and people are like, okay, have we chilled out now? Can I talk about how I liked it?
Yes, I agree. I think, and it's always with divisive content like adaptations.
I kind of like it though. I have noticed I like the movie, but I've noticed I like things that are pretty divisive, just in general.
I know.
Because I think it's fun to talk about, just to chat about it.
I agree.
If we can all be kind and respectful.
Yeah, I'll be kind and respectful.
But
I will just drop this though. I love the comments. Some of the comments people have made online where they're like, I didn't know what they were getting into. And my favorite, I told this to Kelly last night. It was like, wuthering heights, it should be called wuthering thighs. I thought that was so funny because it's so accurate. It is so accurate. It is a very, but the thing is, that kind of is the undertone of the book a little bit.
It is though.
We'll talk about this more later.
Yes.
And of course, we want to respect like the book choices that people have given us. We'll make a little post about this down the line. Yeah. But yes, with Wuthering Heights, we'll give you our full thing later. Also, like I think back on 2005 when I was 6 years old. I was 5. I wasn't in the debate, but my sister was. Yeah. And she talked about how the 2005 Pride and Prejudice, everybody hated that. When it came out.
I didn't know that.
But now everybody loves it.
I love that movie.
Yes. And it's a lot of people's comfort movie. So I'm just... It is. It's like what you said.
This movie's not a comfort movie.
No.
But Pride and Prejudice is a comfort movie.
If you want to feel broken.
And just the whole time going,
yeah. And kind of have to cover your face a little bit. Yeah. But
I definitely put my hood up. And I was like, oh my gosh.
The entire row. I looked at the row. Everybody's hood was up.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. I was like, everyone was like, this is a little, the Brontes do that. You feel a little squeamish.
Yes.
That's the feeling. Anyways.
Yes.
If Callie has more thoughts. But
we'll get into that later.
That's my consumption. What have you been reading, playing, watching?
I am also slacking on the reading. So at work, the job I have right now, in the past, I've been able to just like listen to a lot of audiobooks. I've had the ability to do that. But they are since training me on new stuff, and I just get too distracted, so I can't focus listening to the audiobooks. So I've been slacking.
Okay.
So I read Project Hail Mary, and I read half of it's the other book by Maggie O'Farrell that I'm reading. She wrote Hamnet. It's The Vanishing of, it's the girl's name. Something Lennox. I just don't remember her first name. But it's really good. It's kind of got like a mystery thing. Esme Lennox. Oh yeah, because it's Twilight, right.
Love it.
Esme, like her, you kind of just learn about her story, and it's a little bit of a mystery. I don't really know how to talk about this book without giving anything away.
She's in a mental asylum, it sounds like.
Yeah, so you've got her and then Iris, and Iris discovers that Esme is her great aunt that she didn't know existed. Until she gets a call from this insane asylum and is like, hey, you need to come get your great aunt. We're closing. And she's like, huh?
I don't know who this person is.
And her grandma is still alive, so her great aunt's sister, but she has dementia, so she doesn't really remember a lot of things. So you kind of bounce between time and perspectives. It's actually really good, but it's pretty slow.
Okay.
So I'm just taking my time.
I was gonna say Hamnet kind of felt slow, but I like it.
Yeah. Cool. It's not like Project Hail Mary, where it's just fast paced.
Yeah, Project Hail Mary.
If
you don't pay attention, you miss stuff. That's very important. There's been many times where I'm like, I gotta skip back because I just missed this.
And then I haven't really been consuming much TV. I've been playing the Star Wars games, the Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Yes.
And what's Fallen Order?
Yeah.
I think is the first one. And those are a ton of fun. I'm enjoying them.
I love Star Wars games. They are such a nostalgic thing for me.
It's fun to be a Jedi.
Yeah. Oh, so fun.
And the story's actually really good.
Yeah. I really like the character Cal.
I love Cal. He's my current crush.
Video game crush. Joel, Cal.
Joel will always be a video game
crush. We gotta put Cal
but
on the
Cal
water bottle.
is on there. I do need Cal on the water bottle. This is true.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know, Callie is really good at
finding sticker
vibes.
This is
look how beautiful this is going.
But it has Joel right there. I do need to find something about Cal.
Yeah, we gotta find some Cal stickers for you.
kind of a spoiler, but I'm gonna say it anyways because these games have been out for forever. But the first one at the end when Darth Vader shows up, oh my gosh! If you guys have played it, I was in my room and Vader's theme started playing, and I went, no, and my heart sunk, and I legitimately was terrified. I was like, Cal, we gotta run.
Wasn't that kind of crazy?
Run. And then, so I did. I turned around, I started running away, and then Darth Vader pulls me back, and I was like, Cal, we're gonna die.
Yep. Well, and what's crazy is I like about that game is you have choices. You can lean more into the dark side of things.
Well, that's the second one you could do that, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, it's kind of fun.
It is fun. But those have been a ton of fun. That's really just what I've been consuming.
You guys should let us know what you guys are reading, watching, video games that you have been playing, all the things. Because we just, I don't know, we love
stories.
We love stories.
Yeah.
We love to be entertained. But Callie, who is Andy Weir?
Yes. So Andy Weir,
author of Project Hail Mary.
Project of Hail Mary. So Andy Weir, if you go to his website, I'm just going to read the blurb because I feel like this is a good summary for what we're going to go into.
Yeah.
It says, Andy Weir built a 2-decade career as a software engineer until the success of his first published novel, The Martian, allowed him to live out his dream of writing full-time. He is a lifelong space nerd and a devoted hobbyist of such subjects as relative physics, orbital mechanics, and the history of manned spaceflight. He also mixes a mean cocktail. He lives in California. So he was born June 16th, 1972, and grew up in Milpitas. Is that how you say that, California?
Milpitas? Yeah, I guess.
I have no idea. He was an only child. His parents... it makes sense why he loves science.
STEM. He's a man in STEM.
He is a man in STEM. His mother was an electrical engineer and his father was a physicist at Sandia National Laboratories. So he just grew up probably hearing all of the things.
Yeah.
I listened to some interviews and podcasts with Andy Weir this morning, just as I was prepping all of this stuff. And he talks like the Hank brothers. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, John and his brother.
I don't know if it's just a science-y thing, but he has the same inflection that he speaks basically the same way that they speak.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And the way he talks about stories remind me a lot of how Brandon Sanderson talks about stories. Like, he just feels like the sci-fi version of Brandon Sanderson.
Because that's the thing. They all have, very storytelling voices, but they're also very educated.
Yes. And very passionate.
Yes.
I like listening to him.
Yes.
Because he loves his stuff. He's also just seems like a nerdy dad.
Yeah. Probably is.
He grew up reading classics such as Arthur C. Clarke and Isaac, how do you say it again? Asimov. So Space Odyssey and iRobot, which I haven't read either of them.
I haven't read either of them, but I've seen the adaptations. Have you seen iRobot?
Mm-mm.
I think it's Will Smith, isn't it?
I also haven't seen Space Odyssey.
Yeah,
Isn't that the movie that all the film people are like, this is the best film ever made?
Yes. It's the thing that Barbie's making fun of at the beginning.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that. There we go. So after high school, I thought this was interesting. Weir studied computer science at the University of California, but he didn't graduate. So he technically doesn't have a degree. And after he didn't graduate, he just kind of started his career in software engineer. But like it said at his website, that's kind of what he did for 2 decades. But as he was working as a software engineer, he wrote comics and short stories.
That's awesome.
And the comics he wrote, I think it was 666 is the number he ended on.
Sheesh.
Let's see here. Hold on. I can look at this.
Wow, that's crazy. That's a lot.
Yeah, strip 666. So his...
That's bad juju.
He makes a joke out of it on his website.
Oh, funny.
So this comic strip, it's called Casey and Andy. It's these 2 scientists who just get up to all sorts of trouble.
I love it.
And they're actually they're a lot of fun to read. I'll put a couple up here. And if you guys want to pause and read it. But there's one that I found pretty funny. I'll put this one at the top. Death comes to the door.
Okay.
And he's like, I'm looking for Casey. And Casey's like, oh, he's back there. And then Death kills Andy.
Oh, no.
Casey.
Right back there.
Or the other one that I thought was pretty funny is Casey, I think is the blonde one. He starts messing with time and destroys the comic because he messes with time. So he's destroying time. But that's just kind of how all of them are.
They're just quirky.
They're quirky, fun little things. And he does the art and everything for it.
I was going to say, the art is very interesting.
Yes.
Love it.
In the early 2000s, he attempted to publish his first book, Thief of Pride, under the pseudonym Jack Sharp, which you can download on his website and read it if you want. I did not download it because it was a very large file. I was going to and just like skim through it. Yes. Anyways, but that sadly never got published. When I looked into why, Weir himself has said it probably wasn't very good, which is fine because it's his first.
It's your first book.
It's your first book.
Yeah.
Like, give yourself space for that. But then also, publishers did tell him that it just wasn't marketable. Like, it wasn't going to sell. So that's why they didn't publish it, which is sad, but that happens a lot. And then until 2009, he just continued writing his comics and his short stories. But he wrote a short story called The Egg that went viral. I didn't know this, but it went everywhere. I'll link some YouTube videos, but people on YouTube were adapting this.
Wow.
And some of these videos have millions of views.
That's crazy.
It gives very like Borges feeling short story.
Yeah,
It's about a 48-year-old man who's died and he is talking to God. But in the story, the man is you and God is I. So it's in second?
First person?
Second person.
Oh, second person.
Second person. Because
God
you're
who
you.
is me.
Well, no. So you are you. So it's like you died in a car accident and you are talking to God. So God refers to himself as I.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
But so it's in second person, which is interesting. It's like talks about reincarnation. I don't know, but it's got that Borges feeling where at the very end he drops this like, what is the meaning of life? And is it all worth it type of a thing?
Yeah.
It was, yes, very interesting. I even thought...
Very existential.
Yes. When I was driving over here, I was like, this is convoluted. We shouldn't do this. But it would be funny if we opened the episode with just one of us dramatically reading it.
Oh, that'd be fun, though.
Because it's like half a page. It's not long.
I love this idea. I love this.
I'll also link the short story. It's really good. It took me like 5 minutes to read it. And at the end, I was like, whoa. I liked it.
Love it.
To continue along, in 2011, he published The Martian as a free serial on his website, and then he later compiled it and put it on like Kindle for 99 cents, and it got super popular. So then it was traditionally published by the Crown Publishing Group. I had never heard of him before, but...
Okay.
And then in 2014, that's when it got really popular. So it took like a couple years for it to really like gain a lot of traction with like a widespread of people. And then in 2015, we have the adaptation, The Martian, which I remember seeing that movie in the theater. It was fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love The Martian.
It's so good.
I think that movie is so fun. We always quote like space pirate.
Yes.
But it looks like the Crown Publishing Group is a division of the Penguin Random House.
Oh, it's like a
Mhm.
child's company.
It's like like sister company, but they're a part. They come from the Penguin Random House.
Nice. So a big publishing company.
Yeah.
And then after the hit of The Martian, he published another book, Artemis, in 2015. But that book has really mixed reviews. It's not super popular. And I remember when it came out and people were really excited about it because they love The Martian. And then it was just kind of a disappointment. So I never ended up reading it.
Interesting.
But I feel like I should. I don't know. So then he worked with he kind of collaborated with other comics and a couple video games he helped out too, writing the story. A lot of storytellers reached out to him for like science questions. So his hand is in quite a few things. And then in 2021, he published Project Hail Mary. And this was his like first, I would say like immediate hit. This published and it went viral.
Yeah.
Everyone was reading it. Everyone loved it. It's got crazy high reviews on Goodreads. I think it's at like a 4.5 or something like that.
And then the fact that there is a movie coming out, like a movie feature of this, like not like 5 years later, is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it was just immediate. They were like, okay, Ryan Gosling was like, all right, we're going to do this.
Yeah, I know. Which I think he can do the delivery of Grace.
I know, I'm excited. When I was watching these interviews with Andy Weir, I was laughing because, I mean, you can feel this in the book. He's like, I don't have a very active imagination. Like, he comes up with ideas and problems and concepts, but visualizing people and settings is hard for him. So Grace, Rylan, he, like, when he was writing it, it was just kind of this blob of a character.
That's so funny.
It was just this guy. And honestly, that's kind of how I imagine him too.
Same.
Just like this guy, this scientist that is up to this crazy task.
That just like happened to have like a dissertation that someone read that would be important to saving the world. And
literally.
he's just like a teacher of 12-year-olds.
I love it. And so then because people asked him like, oh, is Ryan Gosling, does he fit what this character looked like to you? And he's like, honestly, yes. Because I didn't know what he looked like. Yeah. So he's like, when I think of Grace or Rylan, I just think of Ryan. They are the same.
He's an older guy who's a teacher.
Yes.
Interesting. Because it's funny because I brought this up with some of my family members who've read this. Mm-hmm. And they were like, we didn't think of Ryan Gosling as being able to play this character, but also at the same time, he can because it's such a fluid character in that way.
For me, he's just too attractive.
Oh.
Rylan to me just wasn't like that. Like, not non-attractive, but I feel like Ryan Gosling is very stereotypically, like, that is an attractive guy.
Yeah, it's like whenever, like, for example, like, all the characters that are supposed to be very plain or ugly are played by very beautiful people.
Yes. Like the Wuthering Heights movie.
Yes, Margot
honestly,
Robbie. What the heck?
That's not really how she looks in the book. But Margot Robbie did a great job, even though
she
looks
did great.
nothing like it.
She did great.
And then the same year that Project Hail Mary was published, he had his son. His wife, Ashley. I didn't really find anything about her. Did you say you found something?
Yeah, very few things on her. Like, she's a writer too.
Oh, cool.
So her and Andy are writers, and I'm pretty sure he met her while he was pitching in LA for a show or something. So he met her, and then she currently does like their residential venture stuff. They do like real estate.
Oh, cool.
Or something. And so she helps with that. But I did think it was really interesting that Project Hail Mary, I don't know if you already said this, was nominated for the Hugo Award.
Oh, no, I didn't, but yes.
I was like, what? That's crazy. So it's really nice to see authors like Andy Weir. Like, I mean, like, what do you write for? You write because you're compelled to write, but it is nice to have your writing recognized, I guess, in that way.
Yeah, he was up for the Hugo Award. And then he's won some awards. Like, he's won the Goodreads Choice Awards a couple times. I think for all 3 of his books, he won that. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. There was another, the Dragon Awards. He won that for science fiction. That's kind of a big one in the nerd realm. Mm-hmm. He's won, the audiobook has won a few awards too. Yeah. The audiobook won the Audio Awards in Audiobook of the Year and in science fiction. Yeah. And the audiobook's great. That's how I read it.
Yeah. So I listened to it through the audiobook version on Audible, and I loved it. And apparently a lot of people do, because it was voiced by Roy Porter. And everyone really liked the audiobook because of the way it communicates Rocky's language.
Yeah, it was so good.
And I was like, oh, I love this. Yeah. So they did a really good job. They had really good voices. I loved all the different accents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought the audiobook was really good. I was listening to it while I was at work, but then when I got home, I still wanted to keep reading it. Yeah. So I would just keep the audio going and I would read it on the page.
In the book?
Except for the very, very end.
Oh.
I kept the audiobook going, but I was reading ahead and then I'd have to have the audio catch up to where I was.
Oh, that's so funny because it's like
because I was too excited.
Yeah. Okay, you guys, it is so good. I feel like it definitely hooks you about halfway through the book.
You're yeah.
Like, okay.
I'm ready.
Go time.
I'm in it. Honestly, I was hooked from like the first page.
It was really it's really interesting. I feel like it's interesting that he said he feels like he doesn't have the imagination to fill in like those details you read in other books where you know everything from the smell to the like, I don't know, the way that the land looks. Whereas in this, you kind of have to have, the readers kind of have to input their own imagination, which I kind of like that.
I like it.
Back to the fact that this is a movie coming out March 20th. I'm kind of excited to see how they adapt it all. Yes. Like to see, because I'm like, there's just some things that I'm like, how do the Beatles look? What do you mean they do like this conga line to communicate? Like, it just sounds so bizarre. And this, and then maybe that's like kind of too spoilery. It's not really spoilers. There's just weird science stuff in this, y'all.
I mean, if y'all have seen or read The Martian, you know. Like, that's like what he's known for, is having science at the forefront of it all.
Yeah. And what's really interesting too is the people adapting this aren't people I would have pegged to be the filmmakers for this film. It's
I had
directed.
never heard of them before.
Yeah, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. They're the directors. They're also the screenwriters and producers and like directors of lots of things, like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, and those are so good.
Yeah. So I'm very curious to see how they adapt this to the screen. But anyways, yeah, it seems like Andy Weir's a cool guy. Got
That's
a cool
true.
wife. They have a little son.
Uh-huh.
And he's making cool stuff. But I really love the fact that all his books have main characters that are very ordinary people as well. Like a botanist is the main character in The Martian, and then a teacher. Yep. Yeah, like a teacher. I love it.
I know. I think the biggest difference between what's that character's name in The Martian?
Dr. Bronner. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, Mark Watney. Mark.
Oh, I was going off Stranger Things. I think that's what his name was, right?
I don't know.
Dr. Chris Beck. Whatever. Anyways.
I feel like Watney, the biggest difference between the two is Watney was an astronaut though, and like knew all of the stuff. And then without spoilers with this book, I feel like he is the definition of was just kind of thrown into it.
Yeah. Yeah. But super fun to follow. I have some things I can add here as well.
Yeah, go for it.
Feeling good about
I am done.
Wrapping up with Andy Weir.
Yes, I feel like that's a good synopsis of his life.
Yeah. Especially because he's like still alive. Still making stuff.
I've said this before, but I feel a little weird digging into it. If they're dead, I like to know all the tea. Yeah. But if they're alive, I'm like, cool.
You just live your life.
Yeah.
I really like. So Weir's philosophy in his writing is science as story, not obstacle, which I love this because this is kind of our introduction into sci-fi a little bit. Again, like we did Dune, and I think Dune can be a lot for first-time sci-fi readers. I don't know. Maybe because it has that fantastical element with it too. I was about
to say.
But I feel like this felt very more like direct sci-fi, I guess. And
it's very obviously sci-fi.
And this is my thing, you guys. I'm probably going to say this in the next episode too. But I have kind of avoided sci-fi most of my life because I felt like I'm too dumb to understand it.
Oh, really?
Yes. Because I'm like, I don't understand anything. Like, can someone remind me what a molecule is?
What does this mean?
Like, just really dumb stuff like that where I'm like, I can't give you basic definitions of very important things that regard science, which is so, I don't know. That shouldn't be an obstacle, I guess, is what I'm saying. So Weir's philosophy was that even though there's a lot of science involved, and clearly he's a big science nerd, and is very educated, it's not going to stop you if you don't know anything.
Oh yeah, no, all of the science in the book, I think relative time and stuff like that. Yeah. I find that interesting, so I know a little bit about that. Yeah, but everything else, I had nothing.
I know.
I didn't know
so there's like some things that I know because of movies, because of just the basic things you remember from school. But reading it, I was like worried. I'm like, man, I'm too dumb you don't need to know to follow it. It's mainly you're just in the brain of a nerd. Yeah. And how he's problem solving. So that was a fun route that he takes in his writing because he loves sci-fi, but it's not an obstacle to people who don't understand or are huge fans of science. Yeah.
I even saw a negative review on Goodreads. The very few that are there was that they felt like the science was almost too simple. Like he was writing it for a young audience. Yeah. And I'm like, but I liked it because it fit the character. Like the character teaches young people. So of course he would talk about the science to make sense to young people.
But the funny thing is,
I liked it.
The funny thing is, I'm totally the 12-year-old.
Me too.
Because they're like, they say it's simple, and I'm like, simple? Man, it went over my head. So apparently I'm the 12-year-old. So that's me. But some of you out there who are a lot more aware or a lot more interested will probably find it simplistic. But I thought it was complicated. I was like, how does this work? I need to re-understand the
how molecules work together.
Not even just that. Like I need to go back and study the periodic table of elements. I don't remember.
You forgot what the periodic table was called.
Yeah. I was like, it's a chart of chemical elements. What is it called? That's how bad it is, you guys.
It's okay.
Didn't first pop up into my brain. But anyways, clearly I was the 12-year-old. I was the perfect audience for this book. I was the kid that they were trying to save. La la la. So that's a really cool philosophy that he has when he approaches his books. And then big scientific ideas that this book plays with, just for those who haven't read the book: astrophysics, like we mentioned, and space travel, and like what does that look like? What are the constraints? Biology, that was fun. And just like engineering logic. So there's just a lot of fun things that he plays with. So if any of those things are like a whole nother language for you, don't worry, it'll be okay. So I really enjoyed the themes that he grappled with. And I have a whole spiel that we'll talk about in the next episode on like one of the themes of the book that I just find very compelling for readers like me who don't really understand a lot of things.
Yes.
that are necessary to save a planet. Like, I just really like how he was like, what are the qualities, what is the knowledge that of people, what would be the necessary things people need to know in order to potentially save the world? I would not be among them. This podcast would not be among them. We will not be of any help. But maybe entertainment, or subpar at that.
Maybe.
But that was fun.
If the world's ending and you just need something to just like distract you.
But Callie inputted a very good question for us to think about in this episode. That comes from a negative review. And they were saying how the characters in the book are very basic and rely on their stereotypes, which you'll see in the book. And I don't feel like it's that much of a spoiler, but there's like certain characters where there's like a bossy woman and she's just being bossy. Or like Russians and they're drinking and they're drunk. Why is it, even though they're using these stereotypes, why does it still feel new, fresh? Why is it still fun? And some of my thoughts on that is the way Weir approaches it in the book, like why science feels exciting and not overwhelming, which some books totally makes me feel that way.
Dune?
Yeah.
I was overwhelmed.
Yeah. There's just a lot of things that I feel like they can do in books to feel very overwhelming. And I think what he does to combat that is that he explains the concepts as characters learn them, which might feel like a cop-out, but I really liked it. Also, the way the main character is like having memories throughout the story.
Yeah. So like the character, just like a preface, the character wakes up in a spaceship and he doesn't remember what's happening.
Yeah.
So he uses what is it called? The tool of, he slowly remembers the past as it goes along. And it like follows the story. Like they run into a problem and then all of a sudden he remembers something that happened in the past to help him solve the current problem.
They're like little triggers to like remember. And that was a really clever plot tool because as the story is going, you're getting to know the characters. So it's very simplistic and stereotypical, but he's approaching it in a way that's very chewable and like fun. And like, you just need to have curiosity to be able to read this book. Like, you don't need to have an expertise of science. It'd probably be interesting if you did, though, to see how Weir approaches things with problems and like how those problems are solved. But you just need to be a curious reader, and you will have a good time.
This is true. I know. I was thinking about like other stories that have pretty basic characters. I feel like Lord of the Rings is an example of this, where the characters are pretty stereotypical.
Yeah.
And we talked about this in our Lord of the Rings episodes.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's kind of why why I like them.
Yeah.
Is because you can have like these basic stereotypical characters, which is normally like a negative thing. But in this sense, it's positive for me because the science is such a big part of it that I have to like really grapple with. I like being able to just like ease into a character that's already familiar. Yeah. Like I've kind of already read a quirky character like Grace. Yeah. Rylan. Rocky calls him Grace. So.
Well, he calls himself like the whole book. So I don't think I learned his first name until like halfway through the book. I was like, oh, that's good to know.
So Grace, like it's nice to just like fall into this like quirky character like Grace. Yeah. And especially with him meeting an alien, to me was a little bit of a spoiler, but it's in the movie trailer. So I think it's okay if we mention Rocky.
And I think we said it in like our last episode when we were prefacing this, that there's a spider.
Yes,
this is the
alien. The alien Rocky says we're having an alien. It's like, okay, we have to get used to this whole new entity. So the humans, since they are just kind of like easy, already know about them, there's more time to then introduce this new living creature.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I'm totally with that. But I thought it was great. I loved how it still felt fresh with the stereotypes because you still liked the characters. Like
I still loved the drunk Russians.
Yeah. And you still loved like Yao, all the people that were supposed to be there.
Yeah.
To help save the world. And then there's Grace.
Yes.
Who just like kind of got shanghaied into this because he had a knowledge base and like theories and ways to like problem solve that they needed on their team. Mm-hmm. But you love all of the characters that you meet who are trying to save the world because they don't really give a crap at what's happening anywhere else or like what turmoil is happening between countries. They're like, we need these
to save the world.
And we need to save the world.
Yes. It honestly gave me a little bit like Studio Ghibli vibes where it's like man versus nature and nature's the antagonist of the story.
Yeah.
And so, but you still have the people coming from like different realms. Yeah. Like Princess Mononoke.
Yeah.
Like none of the humans were necessarily bad, but they did bad things. Yeah. Arguably. But they're really, it's like human versus like nature.
Oh, we could have a whole podcast on Princess Mononoke. That's such a good story. But definitely taps into that, those themes. Anyways, that is the introduction.
Yes. I'm excited for you guys to read it.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
I'm excited to talk about spoilers and excited to see how people like the movie.
Yeah.
So
I know we're going to be recording this before the movie comes out.
Yeah.
So we'll have to talk about it next month a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll give it some time.
This will come out right before the movie, but we won't have comments on the movie. Yeah. Maybe we can do like a little reel or something.
Oh, yeah, we could do that.
Do like a little interview.
Anyways,
but thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope that encapsulated everything for you, but we're excited.
Yeah, we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
It's